Hi, my name is Holly and I am the founder of Think Tranquility. Today I am going to be talking about self-love and I'm going to be sharing with you my 7 personal top tips to create more self-love in your life. Now, what is self-love first of all? Self-love is, in short, it's an act of kindness. That's it. In its basic definition is an act of kindness that you show towards yourself. And that could be anything from, brushing your teeth. If your teeth are feeling grimy, you think, right, I'm going to go and brush my teeth now. That's an act of self-love. That's an act of kindness towards yourself on a physical level. When you're hungry, going and having some food, that is an act of self-love, self-kindness, because you're fulfilling your needs. And in essence, that is what self-love is all about. It's all about looking after yourself and looking after and fulfilling your own needs. And above and beyond that, doing what makes you happy, what makes you joyous. Why is that important? Well, have you ever had a day that has been terrible? Everything you can possibly imagine goes wrong and you just feel like, you know what, I just want to go home. I don't want to be here. I don't want to see anyone. I don't want to talk to anyone. I just need to be on my own and just chill out and relax. I'm fed up. I'm sick of this person. I'm sick of that person. I just need a breather. We've all been there, right? I'm sure you can think of many days that you've had like that, where you can't be bothered. Life's crap and you just need to detach yourself from everything and everyone. It's days like that where your entire being, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually for some of you, you just feel like, I can't cope. And it's then that you are screaming out for self-love. You're wanting attention. You're needing to just listen to yourself, listen to your own needs. And that's why these 7 top tips that I'm about to share with you are so important, because it helps you to create that sense of self-love for yourself on a daily basis by doing small little things that will maintain a certain level of happiness in your life. And for those of you who are struggling with relationships right now, the relationships that we have with other people do have a lot to do with and reflect the relationship that we have with ourselves. And I'm going to go on about that and talk about that in a later video, because it really is, when you think about it and you break it down, the relationship that we have with ourselves does reflect in the relationship that we have with other people, which is a completely different conversation. And I will be here all day if I start talking about that. But when you start to look after yourself, in short, it really does influence the other people around you, because you're happier, and when you're happier, you have more to give and share with other people. And again, I'm sure you can think of many examples of where that's been the case. When you've been happier, you've been able to make other people happy, and having time with them and company is just such a lovely, amazing, great thing. Now, on the flip side of that, if you are struggling with your relationships right now, if you are in a situation where someone's not treating you right, or you're not with the love of your life, and you're just wanting that relationship so much, you're wanting someone to love you and care about you in the way that you deserve, but you're just not getting that, and you've been abused by people in the past, and your trust has been betrayed, and you're left feeling broken and bruised and just lacking any real self-belief or confidence in who you are and what you have to offer. Again, you are lacking self-love. Your body, yourself, your inner being needs and is crying out for some love and some attention. And self-love is very closely linked to healing. So I hope that has kind of given you a general understanding of why self-love is so important. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to crack on and start sharing with you my top 7 tips for self-love. My first top tip for self-love is treating yourself. Now, if you don't have a lot of money, that's not a big deal. You know, if you think about all the little things that you could buy for yourself, not on a daily basis, but just every now and then, you know, whether it be once a week or once a month, it could be a small thing that you decide to buy for yourself once a week, like a bar of chocolate. If you love chocolate and, you know, there's a bar of chocolate that you want to buy for yourself just as a little treat, that might be something you already do. But if it isn't, start doing it. It doesn't have to be chocolate. If you're more of a savoury person like myself, it could be crisps. It could be your, you know, favourite pizza. It doesn't have to be anything big. It could be, for the women out there, it could be a lip gloss. It could be going to the movies, you know, if there's a film that you've been wanting to see. Really, what treating yourself is all about is just doing something for yourself that you wouldn't normally do. You know, go to the sale. If there's a nice dress or an outfit that you've had your eye on, a shirt for the men out there, if there's something you've been looking at and you think, oh, you know, I'd like that, go and buy it. You know, if money is an issue, save up. You can buy so much stuff online now, even stuff that's been and gone in the sales. Look, you know, keep your eye out for something special that you want and treat yourself, whether that be with small things on a weekly basis or big things on a monthly basis. I'll give you a perfect example. These flowers I bought the other day for myself, and it was just a spontaneous thing. I looked at them and I thought, wow, they're so beautiful, and they were only, I think, £7 or £8, and I just thought, you know what, I love flowers. They smell so nice and they're going to brighten up my apartment, and every time I look at them I'm going to smile. So I thought, I'm just going to buy them for myself. Why not? You know, you work hard, no doubt. You work day in, day out, and you know, you fulfill all your roles and your responsibilities that you have in your life, whether you're a parent, whether you're a sister, a daughter, a brother, a son, whatever responsibilities you have in your life. You do a lot. You work hard. You manage all these expectations. Treat yourself. Do something nice for you and treat yourself. That's not selfish. That's an act of kindness to you. My second top tip for self-love is journaling. I love journaling. I do it as often as I can, if not on a daily basis. I do it at least 3 to 4 times a week, because it really helps me to express all my thoughts and feelings. And if you are in a situation right now where there are a lot of things that you're not happy with, a lot of certain circumstances, or again, relationships, people in your life that you just don't feel any real contentment with, and you know, you've got a lot bottled up and you need to get it out, journaling is a great way to not only have that outlet, to release it all, and once you do, you will feel so much more relieved. But secondly, it helps you to also reflect and get some clarity on why you're thinking and feeling the way you are. And when it's there for you to actually physically see and look at and go back through, it helps you build that relationship with yourself. And it's a great healing process, because, and this is another thing that is so significant again when it comes to relationships, is that we tend to follow the same patterns and the same cycles in our life, and our relationships are a pure reflection of that. They show us exactly where we are in our lives. You know, if we get very irritable and angry very quickly, writing that down and thinking, okay, I had an argument today with my boyfriend or my girlfriend or whoever, and you write about it, and you write about what happened and why that happened. Over time, when you do start journaling on a regular basis, you will start to clearly see that the relationships that you have in your life and the way you feel within yourself, if you are someone who carries around a lot of anger and a lot of resentment, and you're very impatient or you get irritable very quickly, you will start to see a certain pattern emerging. And that is a really powerful tool to help you get to know yourself better and understand what these emotions that regularly surface are all about. So journaling is not to be underestimated. And for those of you who have had therapy in the past, as I have myself, a lot of therapists recommend journaling because it really does do something for you on a mental and emotional level. It's so powerful. My third top tip for self-love is shaking up your routine. What do I mean by that? Well, if you are currently living a life where you get up, you get ready, you go to work or school or wherever it is that you go on a daily basis, and then you come back home, you take the same route there, you take the same route back, and then you come in, you maybe do some stuff around the house that needs doing, homework, studying, whatever it is that you need to do, and then you have a shower, take a bath, have dinner, and then go to bed, and then get up the next day and do the same thing all over again. You need more variation in your life. I heard the expression once and I fell in love with it, and I use it over and over again, and it is the repetition of routine kills the human spirit. And that is so true. Do you ever feel like your life needs more excitement, that it just needs more juice, more flavour, more adventure? I've been there many times before where I've, been stuck in that rut, and I've just felt like, is this really what life's all about? It can't be, surely. You need to shake up your routine. And that could be the most simplest of things, like taking a different route to work. Instead of driving, why not walk if it's within a reasonable distance? It's not going to take you forever. Or take the bus, or even drive a different route to work. Be more aware of your surroundings, take a detour. You'll be amazed by getting yourself out and about and seeing and exploring different scenery. It really does make a difference. It puts you on alert, because you're throwing yourself out of your comfort zone, and you're starting to experience new things. And it might sound really simple and basic, but it does actually work. Same with, the weekends. If, say, you'd normally just, have a takeout, watch some TV, maybe go for a few drinks with friends, try going for a walk in nature. Go for a walk on the beach. If you've got a beach near to you, go to the beach, or go for a country walk. Get yourself out and about. If you haven't seen a specific friend for a while, give them a call, see what they're doing. And you know what, that doesn't even need to be during the weekend. It could be during the week. You could think, right, do you know what, sod it, it's Monday night, I want to do something. I want to meet up with a friend. I want to have a girly night. I want to go play some tennis. I want to go to the bar. Whatever it is, shake up your routine, do something different, because that in itself will give you a breath of fresh air, and it will just help you to feel more invigorated and more excited about your life and how you can actually do whatever you want at any given moment. My fourth top tip for self-love is gratitude. Now, gratitude, I've tried this so many times, and I now do it all the time. When I'm in a really negative state of mind and I'm feeling, as I mentioned before, when you have days where everything just feels like it's getting on top of you, and you see the negative and the bad and everything, by looking around you and being more mindful and thinking, okay, what am I actually happy and grateful for in my life? I'm grateful for this really nice dress that I'm wearing. I'm really grateful for the flowers I have sitting on the table. They're so beautiful, they're so colourful, they smell amazing. I'm happy and grateful for my hair. Some people don't have a lot of hair and struggle to grow their hair. I'm really happy and appreciative of my hair because I've got lots of it. When you start to acknowledge things in your life that you are actually happy with and that you're grateful for, and that you would really miss if you didn't have, not only does that, one, make you feel a lot better in that moment, but it also gives you a sense of well-being, and it gives you a feeling of, you know what, my life really isn't that bad. Because there are people in this world who are in war zones, you know, they've got guns in their faces, and they're an inch from death, and they really do have no choice. Fresh drinking water for some people on this planet is a privilege, and no matter what your circumstances are right now, and I don't know what they are, if they are really bad, then I don't mean to diminish them in any way, but there are always people out there who are worse off than yourself, and that is fact. You know, you can't argue with that. Being where we are in this part of the world, a lot of us are very, very lucky, and there are so many things that we have to be grateful for and thankful for. And the problems that we experience and that we worry and fret about, when you compare those worries and those concerns and those challenges to other people's, we have absolutely nothing to worry about. In the great scheme of things, what we worry about on a daily basis is actually not that important. My fifth top tip for self-love is doing something nice for someone else. Have you ever been in a situation where you've done something really small for someone, and it's just been a really simple gesture, like holding open a door, or smiling at a stranger, or sending a really nice message to a friend or a relative, and in that moment you feel such a connection with them, and when they respond, you're actually quite surprised by their reaction, because they're so happy and they're so grateful to you for having done that small little thing. And in that moment you just feel so much love and so much appreciation, and you just feel so good, because it makes you feel good about who you are and what you've just done. And for those of you who believe in the law of attraction, doing a kind deed for someone else will never, ever go unpaid. When you do something for someone else, but you do it from a heartfelt place of just because it's a nice thing to do, and you just want to do it, not for any other reason, I guarantee that will come back to you in one way or another, whether it be from that other person or someone else. What goes around comes around, and I stand by that 100%. You know, think about when someone has done something really nice for you, and then an opportunity has come up at a later date. Have you not wanted to do something nice for them in return? Have you not suddenly thought, do you know what, they did that for me that one time, and I'm going to repay them for that? Not because you feel indebted to them, but just because you feel like, no, they're such a lovely person, I want to help them too. It does work, and it's such a powerful thing, and more importantly, it helps you to feel good in that moment, and it boosts your self-esteem, your self-worth, knowing that someone else appreciates you. And it helps your relationships all round when you're more mindful of what you're doing for other people rather than what they're doing for you. My sixth top tip for self-love is stop all self-criticism. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is when you look in the mirror and you say to yourself, oh gosh, you look awful, look at the bags under your eyes, look at your hair, you know, what are you wearing, that top looks awful on you, things like that. Or even when you're, you know, sitting at your desk at work, or you're sitting in your car, it could be at any moment, and you're thinking horrible thoughts, and you're putting yourself down and saying stuff like, you're not good enough, you could never do that, don't be so stupid. That's all criticism. That is all negative self-talk, and that is the biggest form of self-harm that there is. Now, that might sound like a really, really out there statement, but coming from someone who used to self-harm physically, and I've actually got the scars on my wrists to prove it, I can guarantee you that what goes on up here is the beginning of any kind of physical self-harm. Because when you feel bad within yourself, And the way you know if you're talking crap in your head is your emotions will tell you. You'll be feeling bad. When you keep on with that over and over and over again, and you put yourself down and you bully yourself, that is self-harm. And I never really saw it in that way before. I've only just kind of really taken that concept on board, but it's true. If I hadn't have been thinking all the shit that I was thinking before, when I was a teenager and I used to cut my wrists, I would never have ever considered cutting myself physically if I hadn't have already been thinking all this horrible stuff about how I'm not good enough, how I'm not worth it. So it's a very slippery slope. And whenever you are feeling low and you're feeling down and, you know, you're just feeling like you're not good enough, or someone's been really nasty to you and they've upset you, or something's happened and you feel like it's out of your control, whatever the reason is for you feeling bad, be kind to yourself instead. Stop the, oh, you're not good enough, see, I told you that would happen sort of stuff. That trail of thought, stop it and think, you know what, it's okay, it's fine. If you're not going to support yourself and love yourself and be your own best friend, how can you expect anyone else to be? If you're being told by another person, you're really great, you know, you're really amazing, you're such a lovely person, and you don't believe it, then what's the point of that other person being nice to you? It has to come from you. It has to come from within. That self-assurance needs to start with you. My seventh last top tip for self-love is have a date with yourself. And this is especially for people who aren't in a loving relationship right now with a significant other, i.e. a romantic relationship. If you're feeling like, oh, you know, I don't get spoiled, I never have an opportunity to experience the romance that other people do, I never have done, and I've always been treated like crap by other people, blah, blah, blah. Do it for yourself now. And you can do this even if you are in a relationship, by the way. It really doesn't matter. It's nice sometimes to just think, I'm going to have one day for myself where I'm going to get up when I want. I'm going to have whatever I want for breakfast. And that day is going to be all about me and doing something that makes me happy. And it's important to do that, especially if all the other tips that I've mentioned are, if you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't really have time to treat myself, I don't really have time to, you know, call a friend or go out somewhere or shake up my routine. You know, if you're feeling like all those little things that you really want to do on a daily basis, but you don't feel like you're able to for whatever reason, and your time is really restricted, then make time for yourself, for whether it's a whole day or even just 3 or 4 hours. Do it, and do it all just for you. Make that time all about you and what you want to do and what you want to enjoy. Book yourself in at the local spa. Go and get a haircut. Go on a shopping spree. Treat yourself to a new outfit. Take yourself out on a date. Go to the cinema. Go for a nice meal in one of your favourite restaurants. It doesn't matter what it is. Look after you and love yourself, because the most important relationship you are ever going to have is with you. Those are all my 7 top tips for self-love, and I have found them to have transformed my life completely in making me more mindful about who I am and what I really want and expect, not just for myself in general, but with my relationships. And I can guarantee you that once you start to implement even just 1 or 2 of these tips, or all of them if you want, you will start to feel the shifts within yourself emotionally and mentally, and then that will reflect and have a rippled impact on your other relationships. And the way you see yourself and the way you see the world really in general, it will make all the difference, I promise you. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you do have any questions at all, or if you have any tips of your own to share about self-love, then please do leave them below. Like the video and share it with anyone else who you think perhaps needs to take some time out for themselves and create more self-love in their life. If you'd like to get to know more about me, then feel free to head on over to my Instagram. details are on the screen now, where you can get to know more about me on a personal level, and where I also share more tips and advice regarding all the subjects that I cover here on YouTube. I am an empowerment coach, so I do work with people on a one-to-one basis, helping them to create more empowerment in their lives. My email is holly@thinktranquility.com. Feel free to contact me and we can discuss how I might be able to help you moving forward. Once again, thank you very much and speak soon. Bye.